Good evening, Facebooker. If that's H, maybe you'd like to just drop something on the comments in Facebook. I'll once I know what I'm doing, I can get started up. So if that's H and the boys, just put something on Facebook for me on the live stream thing. Or whoever it is, if you could just put something on the comment, just so I can. So there's some particular people that I'm expecting would be here at some point, perhaps tonight. So just need to verify whether it's them or not. Be bold, give me a hi. But a written hi, because if you put a GIF there, I won't be able to see it on the chat that I'm looking at on screen. I'm just moving stuff about. I don't know if there's anyone there. Yeah, I'm still flying. The chances are, if you're there, H, I won't use the whole name, then I tend to fly all night. Once I start, I'm going to be here all evening. Are you receiving me, or are you watching at the moment? You can put an answer on the PM, or try putting a response on the comments of the live stream. Okay, I'm hoping that you're hearing me on the stream. So Will the boys be there? Uh, or have they got to turn in? Oh, okay, boys. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I look forward to that. And assuming you're still here, mate. Oh no, you've gone.
Let's see if we can put a hover in next to Bill.
Lexor stream. Well, mainly for Lexor. We now have Tasha joined on one stream.
Good evening, Tasha.
So that was Lexor. Number one son. 70 miles away at the moment.
If I can keep this thing under control, I might be able to make a personal appearance.
Oh, that'd be good. I can hear you. You're in a chopper, aren't you?
Yeah.
I should look at the map to see where you are.
I'm right above you.
Oh, are you? I gotcha. So there we are, Tasha. That's Lexor flying that one. I'll carry on. I'm going to carry on my startup procedure and get taxi and rolling. Oh yeah, we can. I mean, when Lexor is in a Spitfire, we can fly in formation. There it goes. It's the same when we're in War Thunder in combat. That can be very useful because if he's flying a bit of a distance away but can see me, he can say, "Hey, look out! It looks like you've got someone closing on your 6." That's very useful. Okay, I'm going to carry on getting started. I'm going to turn on my gear light. Fuel pump is already on. Fuel cock is already open. I'll turn on the magneto. You'll be able to do this. You've seen it a few times now, haven't you?
Finally. Managed to get it under control.
Jolly good.
Coming in on your 2. Very low.
So there you are, Tasha. This is for both streams, but it's also Lexor can hear. Tasha is saying, I'm hoping he will make a personal appearance, by the way. So personal appearance is sounding very close. Oh, I see you. I'm going to zoom in.
So I'm slowly working my way forward.
It's a Huey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now Lexor's flying a Huey. Look, you can see the heat coming down, or the yeah, there's a certain amount of haze blowing from the engines. I've still got the red markers. Oh, look at the dust kicking up. I've got the red markers. I'm going to turn them off. That's it. Red marker's gone. By the way, Tasha, I don't get an audio
it's only thanks to
signal
Jack's
that you've
last Thursday
put a message on.
That I'm able to do this anywhere near as good as I am now, because he taught me about how to trim it out.
Who was that?
Exceed.
Oh right, okay. Here we are. This is a fairly up close and personal visit you're getting there, Tasha.
If you could see my stream, you'd see the look of intense concentration on my face.
Yeah. So Tasha, Lexor also has a stream. He's running it on Twitch. I'm not sure. Lexor, in theory, is the guy. As you look at it on the right, he's the pilot. The pilot sits on the left in the aircraft. So to us, he looks as though he's on the right. That's a neat bit of hovering. You've got a lot of good control there. That's good. He's going to come and park on my parking space. Hey, watch your rotors on my aerial. Let's come out of zoom. I'm not in zoom. I was in zoom. I was just hitting the wrong button to come out. Are you looking over this way, or did you look over this way? I suppose you must have done, because your co-pilot's head is looking this way.
Co-pilot being left or right?
co-pilot being the right-hand seat, because when I was using the having my lessons in the Cherokee, the left-hand pilot seat is P1, P2 is the right-hand seat.
In the Cherokee, P1 is right.
No, in Cherokee, P1 is left.
In the Huey, in this one, P1.
Oh, right. Okay, well that makes sense, because it means that the pilot, i.e. you, looking this way, that makes sense. I'm going to do my start-up procedure then, I'll carry on, otherwise I'll never get up, will I?
Yep, nice. I'll get out of your way.
Tasha gave a one-word response there. Wow! Which for some reason hasn't come up on my little window for the chat which I have over the game, but it has come up on the YouTube chat. Right, I'm going to carry on because I'm doing too much waffling and not enough starting. Right, magnetos are on, fuel is on, fuel cock is open. Brake. I have to make sure the brake, that lever in the middle of the stick, that's got to be fully on. I've got to make sure that the prop pitch lever is fully forward, which means that it's fully fine. Right. So I'm now ready to actually get the engine started. For that I've got to prime the engine and push both of those buttons that are right in the middle of the screen, if I can zoom in on. Push both of those buttons at the same time, which of course I can't with the mouse, so I use the home and delete keys to push those buttons. Once the engine is turning and starts to catch, I have to flick forward this mixture lever to keep the engine running, and I do that with the button around the back of my throttle unit, so let's do that. Okay, I'm now ready to get started. So while the engine's warming up a bit, I'll set the altimeter nose down on my rudder. Nose down trim and rudder trim. The rudder is down bottom left, and as you can see that there's a little knob round there which is just the rudder trim. Adjusting nose down trim to about 1/3 of a Now, I'm seeing a 1 viewer when I look at the Facebook screen, but I'm seeing 0 when it comes to the little chat window. So I'm going to try resetting or reloading Facebook and see if it changes to a 0. Yeah, it did.
I'm back. Hi.
Hello, Stone. That's fascinating. Once again, it's showing 0. It's showing 0 all over the place, but you're still there. Give me a yay.
Oh crap. You have TTS now. Text to speech.
Yeah, so that's coming out over the stream, yeah?
Yeah, maybe you should make it not do that.
Well, the point is, it introduces a level of control, but it also tells me when someone's actually dropped a message. Whereas before, I'll
It's
be
not
happy.
ergonomic then. It's out of place.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It gives a level of control, and as I say, it means that I can hear when someone has put a message on, which I won't know unless I've got that, unless I happen to just glance at the message screen. If I could get it to give just a ding, that would be fine, but I can't.
You can make it so it only speaks to you, right? And it also cuts you off. That's no good.
I can do it so that it talks to only me. How do I do that?
No, I'm asking you if you figured that out yet. What are you streaming with? OBS.
Yeah, streaming with OBS. No, I haven't figured it out. I don't think you can make it speak only to me. To say it does introduce a level of control.
You can simply go to OBS and turn it to 0 for the stream.
Turn what to 0? I don't want to turn everything off.
You should be able to do that. The program volume.
There's the desktop volume and there's my mic volume. If I turn the desktop
You should
volume,
be able to edit individual program volumes in OBS.
I'll have a look. If you can tell me where, I'll have a go, but I can't see it.
If not, that's a failure of design.
Well, it's a failure of design that I'll accept. For now, at least, unless I get really fed up with it.
At least turn it down if you can. It's really loud.
Yeah, it's really loud to me too, but I can't turn it down on its own. If I turn it, the only way I can turn it down is turn the whole game sounds down, then I'll lose engine sounds.
And it echoes though your mic it's so loud.
It goes through my mic. So you're no, well, that means it's picking it up from my earbuds when my head is in the right place, because the mic is about 2 or 3 inches away from me. So if I turn my head like this, then it might pick up the earbuds. It's not too much of a problem, because most of the time I don't get people on here talking to me anyway. But if they do, it will alert me. At the moment I've got no alert. Yeah, if I can find a way to turn it down, then or even
No,
off,
it just is
for
so
the
loud
stream.
it goes through your earbuds.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. So it's going through the earbuds when my head is in the right position, because the earbuds have got tiny holes at the end.
So you're telling me you enabled the TTS but there was no options for it.
No,
What
that's
is
right.
doing the TTS?
It's coming from this chat window that you're seeing on the left, right. I think I can't remember what side. Left of your screen. The little chat window. There's an options which you can't see when I click it, but there's an options button there, or a settings button that allows me to turn it on, but it doesn't allow me to adjust the volume of it or turn off the volume to the stream. So it's actually coming from
Go to on your desktop.
Restream.
I mean on your desktop.
Don't know what you mean.
In the bottom right corner, there's a volume thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I know that, but it doesn't allow me to change just that volume. I've been there. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, might have, yeah, you might be right on this. There is a restream chat. When yeah, there is
You
a
can open it
restream.
and it click advanced. You can then change the individual volumes of every running program.
I'm gonna take this out, but I think it'll turn it down to nothing for me. Give me another message. Can you give me another message to check? I've turned it down to 0 and I've got nothing. So obviously it turns it down. I'm going to put it to 10. See what that does. Can you give me a test? So if I can get it quiet enough that I can hear it without it.
Yes, I am speaking.
Okay, hold on. I can bring it below 10. That is working. Well done, mate. Hold on. I've taken it down to 5. Can you give me another test transmission? Oh, another test message.
Perfect on stream. See, I ain't just stupid, lol.
No, LOL, you're not stupid. Well done. That was useful. Well done. So it means that I can... So is it coming out on the...
Sometimes.
Well, we're all stupid sometimes, mate. So on the stream, is it coming out at a volume that you can't hear it, or just a nice, very low volume?
It's coming on the stream, but it's the perfect volume. For me at least.
Well, I can probably turn it down more. I mean, it's a bit touchy now. I'll bring it down to 3. Because all I need is just an audible, although when I've got my engine running, that will change. So I might have to move it from 3 back up to 5. We'll see. Can you give me another test?
No, don't turn it down more. It's already so quiet.
Well, it doesn't matter if you can't hear it. As long as I can hear it, as long as I can hear something, that's fine. The only time that I might not hear it is if I've got the engine blaring.
You'll be able to focus on your game and hear chat.
Well, as long as I can hear it, I can look at the chat. Okay. I'm going to take your advice yet again there, S-Tone. I'm going to put it back up to 5 and see how that goes. Give me a test, please.
You should turn on your engine and check by revving it up and seeing how loud it is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, but I'm having a starting point first. But yeah, I need to, as I say, when I take off, the engine's going to be roaring a bit, so I might find that I've got to turn it up a bit again. I didn't realise it came out onto the stream though. That's a bit of a pity. I'd like to be able to turn it off for the stream and leave it on for me. There is also the option for me to read the name of the person putting the message, but in your case, S-Tone de Reveldo, by the time it's read that out, well, we'll see. I'm also waiting for someone to turn up again, so I'm just going to wait for a moment. I've minimised everything so that I could adjust that. I'm going to go crazy and put it up to 7. Okay, thanks, S-Tone.
Take off.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hold on. I've got to bring a few windows up because I minimised everything to get to that, to get to the desktop.
Well, we will see as him speaking.
Yeah. So when I do start up, you can say a few things. If I don't hear it all, it's not too important. I can glance across. As long as I know there's a message, I can glance across. Let me just restore the things that I minimised. I've got to close a few windows as well, a few tabs.
Oh boy, I was helpful for once.
Yep, very helpful. I'm just checking a few things before I carry on. Right, now what I'm going to do is move windows about so that I can see stuff that I need to see.
I found out how to do the OBS thing.
Go on, Ant.
At least. I think. Maybe.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'm going to start the engine. If the person I'm waiting for gets here, which they might not,
Let
I
me
will.
do more research.
Okay. I'll yeah, if the person turns up, I will just drop whatever flight I'm in to start again, because the idea is they want me to talk them through the spit and start up and all that sort of stuff. So I'll jump in and start up.
Alright, it's not a thing. OBS is a poor design.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be able to. I couldn't find it. But then again, I couldn't find it. I didn't realise that there was a... I had to scroll across to find that other thing in the mixer.
How fast do you think you can start the spitty in an emergency?
Never even thought about it, because I probably won't actually have to scramble. But, don't know. Maybe half a minute, I don't know. Just provided I didn't get brain rot and just fluff everything. Okay, do you want to give me a test? I didn't hear the instrument stuff. I didn't hear that message. They're not coming through. Hold on. Right, can you put any old message up?
I don't
Okay.
know. But like,
Okay, I do need, for that, I do need to bring it up quite a bit more, I think.
It might be different for you.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't hear it at all when I had the engine revving, so I've got to bring it up. Probably, I would say I've got to start at 50% and work up or down from there.
You should close the cockpit smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes.
No, I shouldn't close the cockpit. That's something I shouldn't do. That's not part of the process, is keeping your cockpit open, because if there's an issue like a fire, the ground crew don't want to have to try to get through a closed cockpit to pull you out. So you keep your cockpit open until you're up and flying and stable. When you come in to land, you then open your cockpit again before you land, for the same reasons.
If you close it though, you can test the sound better.
Well, I want to be able to hear it regardless, so I've got to test it under a worst case scenario. So I've got it at 50%. I just want to see what it's like now. I'm going to rev up with the engine, with the canopy open. So I'll rev up and you give me another message. Damn it!
You minor missed the chat stream, I believe.
Damn it! I'll just respawn. That's because I wasn't looking.
D.
Ha ha ha.
Op. LMAO. LOL.
What? I've accidentally selected that damn thing. That's not what I want. Oh, that's because I looked at the at the onboard instead. I know that I want 10, but not for that. For that.
You would not believe how many times I did that exact thing in War Thunder. Hey. The MiG-29 is cool.
No, the Medkit 29, it's a 27 I think, and it's a jet. Or 25 even, might be a 25, and it's a jet. Not cool for me. See that guy standing there? That's obviously the pilot that just wrecked the other plane. What an idiot. Well, no, it shouldn't be, because I was in 56. Where's he come from then? That's just because I selected that plane and then jumped, so perhaps he was then stuck in the open. Maybe it's that. Don't know. Don't really care. Oh, I've got to get Windows back up again.
You see that bloke over there? Yeah, that's me. I don't know how I got here, but I know he is an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, go for it again. I've got it to 50%. It might come through, but If it doesn't, I'm not going to turn it up anymore. I'll just have to take the fact that I've heard that there's a message and look at the message screen.
Let's see then. I guess we will see. As I send random messages. Yes. Wow, I'm talking. Asterisk speak asterisk.
Okay, hold on a minute. That was a waste of time because I hadn't turned the fuel on.
Hey, don't dig your nose into the ground this time. LOL.
I'll work towards that idea.
It's unhealthy.
Oh, well, what have I forgotten? Oh, that's because I primed it, it didn't start, and then didn't reprime it for the next start.
Oh, you failed.
You know why, don't you? Because I'm engaging in conversation.
This is new.
What's new?
Exciting content.
And then I didn't bring my mixture lever back.
You failed at starting it for once.
Yeah, because when it doesn't start, you have to make sure you reprime it, which I didn't. And they also have to make sure you pull back your mixture lever, which I didn't. Because normally, I don't have to go through it a second time. Right, I'm going to rev it up without digging in this time, hopefully. Give me a message.
You know, I always found it interesting how you can jumpstart the engines in Battle of Stalingrad by diving.
Thank you for that information and for that test, which I did understand. I heard and understood.
Even heavily damaged engines get forced to cooperate.
Okay. Okay, I'll taxi out and take off. At least do a circuit, but probably go and hit some units. Because this is also like retesting Laxor's mission, which he's repaired.
It makes me wonder if you can jumpstart the engines in DCS if they're heavily damaged by diving.
Possibly, I suppose. Never been in that situation. If I get that damaged, I'm normally dead. And of course you need a bit of altitude to do that.
Hey, at least now if you play BOS again you know that you can jump start your engines if you're high enough.
Yeah. Which I probably won't. I actually uninstalled it because I wanted the room. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. I forgot I was on parking ramp 10. Never mind, it's a long journey instead.
The min IAS speed I was able to do it in a LA5 was about tilde 310 miles per hour.
Yeah. If it's badly damaged, there's a reason that it's stopped, isn't there? Chances are, if you restart an engine that's that badly damaged enough to make it stop running, surely it's not good. It's not going to run, not properly anyway, or not for long.
Well, usually overheating the engine, you can force it to make it run again by applying engulf force to unfreeze it. And by frozen I mean the pistons welded to the chamber.
Well, I'd be a bit surprised if that kind of thing was overcome by a bump start, as it were. If it's welded, that I don't know that you get enough airflow for that. Maybe if you turn your engine off and then dive and let it turn itself back on, yeah, that'll probably work.
The engine will run again, not well. But you'll make it back.
Probably depends on the aircraft though. The other person I was waiting for is now typing a message.
Radials
So,
have a much lower success chance with it.
yeah.
Inlines can easily do it.
I suspect I'll never get the situation where I prove that. We have a second viewer on YouTube, so I'm hoping that's H. Is that H? If that's the case, I'm going to go back to a new aircraft. If it turns out that I've got H there, I'm going to get a new aircraft so I can go through the startup process again.
And the engine, if shot up, can be forced to run with high enough speed.
Right. So can the other person that's watching on YouTube, can you put a message on YouTube or a message in Messenger?
And if it does, it will run terribly, but will run for a short bit.
Okay. If the other person that is now
There's
joined
only
us,
one they were here, Bill.
no, there's two, I believe. The indications I'm getting is that there's two, and the other person I'm expecting is typing into Messenger.
You should test it in DCS.
Test what?
It would be a interesting tet.
Oh, you mean test the engine thing? No, I'm not going to be doing that. That's another one of yours. Hey, do you want to try something daft? I will only be flying normally, and I'm waiting for the moment for this other person to finish the message. If it is them, then what I will ask is for you to leave.
No, T's not a daft thing.
If it is this person, I will then ask you to leave the all communications to me, because I want to be able to speak to them so they can hear what I'm saying
It's
without
potentially
interruption.
very useful. Also, it's just you and me.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. The other person is typing, so I want to see what they say. If they're saying I can't get there, that's something else. But even then, I'm not going to do the engine dive thing. Restream is currently telling me that there's two, and I would expect there to be two. I'm not saying that there
In
is.
looking at the participants, there's you and me. Tongue poking smiley.
So I'll probably need to refresh Restream then, if that's the case. Unless of course it's just that there was two, but it takes a long time for one of them, or for them to disappear once someone stops watching. I've got to wait until this person has finished their message, whatever happens.
You can look at the participants.
I won't do that at the moment.
It's the 3 dots in top right corner of the chat.
Yeah, I know.
There ain't anyone else, Bill, I swear. Why would I lie about it?
I'm not saying you'd lie about it. It's changed now. What I'm saying is that the information that we get might be conflicting. Right, the other person I believe is going to come in. I'm just talking to them on Messenger. I think they're going to come in, so at that point I will request that it's only me doing the chat.
Oh.
Otherwise it's going to get very messy, very difficult for them to understand.
HMMMMMMMMMMMMMMM.
Okay, I believe I've been joined by H. So I'm now going to go through the startup process that I would normally do. First of all, I'm going to jump out. So if H is receiving, oh, I'm now seeing 2 viewers. So okay, H is viewing on Facebook. It'll actually be better, you get a better view, but don't worry about it now. You get a better view on YouTube because Facebook only gives 720 and YouTube will give 1080. So I'm going to just jump out.
Here comes the part where you end up killing each other.
No, Stone, this is the part where you leave all the talking to me, old chap. The person that I'm talking to is only watching. They're not flying. Okay, so I'm going to refer to H because that's probably okay. Every now and again, if you just let me know that you are receiving what I'm saying, just occasionally, just got it or something like that. Right, so we have, just to explain what I've got, Right, I don't know what I said then, but I think I stopped using my push to talk. So I'm just to explain what I've got my stick which operates the ailerons. Here's the ailerons, don't know much you know about this, and the elevators. Under the bench, under the desk that this sits on, I've got my rudder pedals, which I can't show you physically, but I can show you the effect of them. Rudder pedals, ailerons, elevator. So I'll jump back in. Right, now before I do anything, what I'm supposed to do is ask permission. So I'm gonna turn my radio on, but you'll see that it's daylight. The radio lights are a bit dim, so I'm going to brighten them up with this switch here. So the lights are a bit brighter because it's daylight and I can see it. I'm going to turn my radio on. That will allow me to ask permission to start the engine. Before I do that, I'm just going to put all the lights on, just so that people can see that I'm about to start up. So I'm going to put the lights on so people can see I'm about to start up. And there's the switch that turns on the nav lights. Red light there, green light on the other wing. So there we are. Just jump out briefly. Green light there, red light there, nav lights are on. Jump back in. And now I'll put the other. Right, so there's that one there and that one there. Let's just jump out. Now you're seeing the white lights on the top and the tail and underneath, making me more visible. That top one can be used as a Morse code light, so that aircraft can signal to each other in Morse code if they want to. Okay, so aircraft is pretty much ready. I'm going to ask if I can start the engine. Hopefully voice attack. I use something called voice attack. I speak a command and it does what I want it to do. So let's see if it will pick me up. Yeah, so the top right corner of the screen, you've now got a list. So I'm going to request ATC. I'm going to choose Mosdoc. And I'm going to request startup.
Mazda, Chevy 1-1, request startup. Chevy 1-1, Mazda, cleared for startup.
Okay. So now I'm going to actually get the necessary to start the engine. First I like to put the panel lights on so that I can see better. And then there's two covers that cover up buttons there, and I have to open those covers. That's the booster and starter buttons. I have to press them both at the same time. I can't do that with the mouse, so I use the home and delete keys to do that, and then I press another button once the engine starts to roll that turns this mixture lever forward. So before I go into any of that, I need to do a few other things. Hopefully it's not loud, but it's there. And now I need to open the fuel cock, which is a lever that you can see just about there. If you can see my mouse, I'll open that. And I need to put on the magnetos. Before I can start the engine as such, I've got to prime it, and then I push those two buttons to start on the booster, and when the engine starts to go, I then push the other button to get that mixture lever forward. So here we go. Lean out the cockpit to show you that, so that you can see the prop, the manifold there. I can't lean out the prop out of there when the cockpit is closed. It won't let me, of course. So I'll get it going. Get it running. I forgot to prime it. You didn't see me prime it, did you? I didn't prime it. Okay, now I'll start, I hope. A little backfire there. Okay, so next thing is to get permission to taxi.
Mazda, Chevy, 1-1. Request taxi to runway. Chevy, 1-1. Mazda, clear to taxi to runway 26.
So to taxi, or to guide the aircraft, in a Spitfire you don't have toe brakes. Other aircraft you tilt your toes forward on the rudder pedals, and that's a brake on the right wheel and a brake on the left wheel depending on which one you're pressing. Not so in a Spitfire, and this is accurately modelled. What I have to do is, if I want to turn right, I have to give it some right rudder. So there's my right rudder, and then I have to give it some brake so that it brakes the right wheel. And then if I turn the other way, it's the other way round. But it's the same brake. That's right. If I make a mistake, it won't start. So I have to do it right. As you saw just then, because I forgot to prime it. Because I was talking, I forgot to prime it. So it didn't start because I hadn't primed it. So I'm now going to taxi out. All these gauges, of course, function because this is a spit cockpit. As I've said, if you want to learn to fly a spit, you could do it in this. Something I didn't do, which I normally do, is adjust my altimeter to show 0 ground level at this airfield. Give it some nose down, 1/3 of a division of nose down, and then adjust the rudder to give it some right rudder. So I'm going to do that now. Only moves slowly. So that's about 1/3 of a division of nose down. Now I'll give it some rudder. It can be very tricky moving my head in the right place. I use something called Track IR, so that I'm wearing a baseball cap at the moment. That should make a laugh. Wearing a baseball cap with a reflective clip on it. There's a camera at the top of the monitor that fires infrared out and then receives infrared back from the reflections, 3 little reflections on the hat clip. It then knows which way my head is orientated, so I can look either way, up, down, round, all the way round. Look at that, no head. Right, he lost his head. So I can now look all around me. It can be a bit jerky, but I'm looking around me without actually turning my head to the back, because if I did that I wouldn't be able to see the screen. So it's uncomfortable to use for a while, because as I'm looking at the very extreme left of the screen with my head, I turn it a little bit more but keep looking, turning my eyes. I can now see the screen still and see what's behind me, which can be important. Right, so that's all set. So that's Track IR explained and voice attack explained. So I've got permission to taxi. I'm going to go. So here we go. I'm going to try and keep it down so you can see what's happening with the rudder pedals and the brake. So brake off. about 1200 revs. It is not comfortable, but it's realistic. That's the way a spit works. So I'm constantly adjusting the rudder pedals and possibly the throttle. I'm going to give it a little bit more throttle, and I'm going to try not to touch it and just use the brake and the rudder pedals. I'm going to turn left here. This is a true flight sim, by the way. Is it okay to refer to you as H, or do you prefer the full version? Only using H just for privacy, that's all. When I get to the runway, I'm going to stop and ask for permission to take off. H, good, fine. You have to remember, of course, if you're watching the stream, it'll all be in time. But as I said, what happens on the stream, you actually see it about 13-15 seconds later. That's why you need to watch the stream and listen to the stream, so that what I say ties up with what I'm doing. Right, I'm going to stop here, put my brake on carefully so that I don't nose over, and request the permission to take off.
Mazda, Chevy 1-1, request takeoff.
He's not going to say no.
Chevy 1-1, Mazda, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.39.
Can you see why this helps me so much? It's it takes a lot of work. Just getting used to taxiing can be uncomfortable, and straightening up. Taking off is another game. I'll tell you about that before I do it. Brake on. Right, now to take off, I'll be dancing on the rudder paddles to try and keep myself straight. But before that, I will be stick right back, full right aileron. And then as I'm taking off, as I'm gaining speed, I will gradually bring that stick back to its normal position, and then possibly rotate, i.e. a little bit of stick back, but not necessarily. It might just pick up by itself, but I'll probably give it some. Once I'm up, I normally then adjust my trim. That's good. Yeah, it is a bit technical at times, but the flying is gorgeous. So when I've taken off, I will then adjust for one full division of nose up. I will then also pull my prop pitch lever, that's this one here, pull that back so that I'm running at 2,700 revs. Once I've done that, I can close the canopy. I'll leave it open for now because you're supposed to. The reason being is if there's an accident or a fire, the ground crew need to get you out. They don't want to have to thump their way through a canopy. They need to be able to just get in there and pull you out, so your canopy stays open until you've taken off and you're sort of stable. Same thing when you come in, you have to open your canopy for the same reasons before you land, just in case they have to get you out in a hurry. So to take off, stick fully back, full right aileron, throttle up, dance on the pedals, and then once I'm up, I have to bring my gear up. That's, if you can see it, there's a gear indicator there. that will go off completely, and then when the gear is up it will show up just there. So, and anything could happen here. It could end in tears, but normally I'm okay. So brake off first of all, because otherwise I will nose over and then I have to concentrate on takeoff. Brake off, stick back for right aileron, throttle up. Gear up, adjust trim, set prop pit, close canopy. So now I can go beat some things up. There are some ground units that I like to go for. Some of them, not on this immediate bit, some of them shoot back at you, so they do sometimes shoot you down. But first I've got to turn on my illuminated sight and make my guns ready. That's a little pip at the top of the stick. Guns are ready. So that's me, the little white F. F for fighter. And I've flown much further than I normally do, I think. Because I've been talking, I've kind of lost my bearings. Let's pull back over this way. There's a train there. I can shoot at that train if I want to. I can shoot it, hit it and stop it. And there's some units, little dots on the grass. They're lorries, trucks. This Spitfire has got two kinds of bullets. It's got cannon, which are 20mm, quite powerful, and 7.7s, obviously smaller, but you've got plenty of them by comparison. Tally ho. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? And you'll see that the lorries didn't like me shooting at them, so they dispersed. When I hit one, it'll burst into flames and eventually it'll explode. I was much too low just then. Normally I can go over that line and take maybe 5 or more out in one go. That's part of the thing about explaining what you're doing, isn't it? You sort of lose it a bit. Can you tell me what is the volume balance like for you? is my voice coming out properly over the engine noise? Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, you have to fight a bit to keep the balance, I must admit, to keep it steady. The difference between other gunners, like if you take a bomber, you get gunners on a bomber, they only have to turn their gun to fire at the target. With a fighter, you've got to point the whole aircraft at the target to make it hit. So I've only got one. I don't think it's exploded yet. It might have done. I'll go for one of these others. They're tankers. You get a bit of a bigger bang for your buck. And what I'll then do is I will go see if I can land. Well, normally I can land, but landing isn't the answer. You've then got to control the aircraft on the runway after you've landed. Well, those ones down there will shoot at me, so I've got to watch out for them. The tanks on the bridge, and they do shoot at you, and they're quite good shots. I'll have one more target on my way back to the airfield. So now, because I know you'll probably be a bit short on time, I'm going to go back to the airfield and see about a landing, okay? Unless you've suddenly decided you've got an hour. So to land, I have to put my prop pitch fully forward. When it's fully forward, the prop pitch is fine, so it's flat against the air. When it's back, it's coarse, so the blade cuts through the air. I'm just hanging on while you're typing. Okay, have you got enough time for me to land, or have you got to go right now? Prop pitch fully forward. Canopy open. Gets noisy now. I've flown many nights. If you actually wanted to watch a game, what you can do is go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and hit the bell. I'm not worried about subscribers, I'm really not, that's not what I'm after. But if you subscribe and hit the bell, when I'm flying, it will tell you that I'm flying. Yes, tanks can shoot me down. There's some directly in front of us, way past this airfield, there's a bunch of tanks that I normally get all of them. There's 7. I normally get them all, but they definitely shoot back at you. Right, I've got to concentrate. I'm going to put my gear down. Because I'm zoomed out, you could see that. And I've got to put my flaps down or slow down a bit more. Can't see the airfield, can you? Nose is in the way. Flaps down. So as you can see, getting your wheels down in a spit is not the end of the story. That was a particularly bad landing. I don't normally land as badly as that. Let's just jump out and see how I damaged it. Well, I've got holes in my wings. I'm not sure if that's what I did or whether something shot at me. The tanks might have shot at me. And if I want to, because you'll be going very soon, I guess, so if I want to, what I can do, I can bail out. And I might as well I'll put the flaps, look at those flaps, they're like air brakes. They're like air brakes. I'll put the flaps back up and you'll see. No, I didn't roll over, but you know what they say, any landing you can walk away from, etc. The wheels are straight, so I didn't bend the gear up. There is damage on the wing, but I don't think that's the kind of damage that it normally shows just from scraping a wing. I think I might have taken some shots there from the tanks on the bridge, although I didn't see it coming up. So, shall I jump? And you can see what it's like. Mind you, obviously I'm on the ground. Oh, absolutely. I think anyone that tries it, once they start to get success. When I first started doing this, I almost gave up because as I took off in the spit, the left wing would dip, it would skid round to the right, and it would end up in tears so many times. But then you get the feel of it, and eventually it's a bit of a fight, and it's still scary, but you start to make it work on a more regular basis. Right, so now jumping. When you're actually in the air, you jump, and as you look up, you see your canopy, you know, your parachute above you. And when you're going down, you'll look at your knees and your feet, and they'll be relaxed. But when you get very close to the ground, you'll see the knees come together and the feet come together, and the knees come up slightly, ready for taking the impact. And then you land, your parachute comes off, and you can walk around. I should shut the engine down for safety, but shall we risk it? I'm just going to jump out. I'm not sure if it will let me walk. It doesn't always. Oh, it has. Jump down. Sadly, I can't get back into the aircraft when I've done this. So that's my view as the pilot. Handsome devil, isn't he? Right. Spitfire. Most beautiful aircraft ever built. Never be equalled, because there'll never be a need to equal it. Because it's a prop. They're not going to build prop jobs anymore. Not for fighting anyway. So this I won't say game, this flight simulator is called DCS, Digital Combat. Digital Combat Simulator. I also fly in something called War Thunder, which is a game, but it's still very good. It can be very exciting with the dogfights. I can dogfight in this, but there's no time for that. I mean, it takes a lot longer. Once I start flying, it's unlikely that I'm going to stop flying for at least 4 hours. More than that, very often. My longest live stream, I think, was 11 hours. And Laxor and I have often turned in, well, quit flying anyway at 3:30 in the morning, maybe 4 o'clock. So yeah, we can get stuck into it. I can't even turn the engine off now, I don't think. Oh, I can actually. Hang on, I think I can. Hold on. No, it's not letting me operate that particular thing whilst I'm out of the cockpit. It lets me do the... Oh no, no, because the pilot is not in the cockpit, so it won't let me. It won't let me. So I've just done that to make it quiet. No, we fly together. We have done on occasions, because you can do in War Thunder. You can do something called a custom battle where you set it up yourself, and occasionally he's coming on the other side because, well, for whatever reason. So we have fought each other, but normally we fly out together. It's really nice. If you look on my yeah, if you look on my YouTube channel, which is the goblet, when you scroll up the chat, look on my channel, and there's a whole load of stuff there. But it also includes music. It also includes my guitar stuff. I don't know if you got to the guitar, but don't worry about that for now. So I've paused it just so it stops making the noise. I'll choose a slot and just spawn in again, but I won't necessarily have to do anything unless you want to see the start up again, but you won't have time, will you? It's actually when I fly out with Laxor, my son, when we will sometimes both take the same aircraft. We'll take a Hurricane with rockets on it, and then we will go and attack one of the enemy bases. And it's great because we're flying out together. One goes in and makes a hit, the other one goes in and makes a hit, and then we have to come home again, try and get home safely without the other, because it's all players. In War Thunder, they're all players pretty much. So it's people that you're fighting with, people that are chasing you when you think you're almost home, and then a fighter comes in behind you and takes you out just before you get to the airfield. We'll check it out. Oh right, okay. Oh good. Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed it, H, because I think it's a good way of keeping your mind busy, certainly mine, with that and the guitar, and of course I would turn in my little goblet. I don't know if you saw it, but the little goblet that I made, that is there, that's just something I made. It's only 2 inches high. In fact, what have I done with it? It should be right in front of me, and I was going to hold it up to the camera. Can't find it. It's here somewhere. I have to find that. That's valuable to me. I have to find it. Yeah, other people can join us. Sometimes Laxor and I will squad up with 2 other people that come in, so we have a squad of 4 of us, and we can kind of look after each other a little bit. If you know, when we get into battles, we can say, look out, there's someone getting on your 6, if we can identify them, because it's very difficult to identify who you're looking at. Yeah, wood turning. I'll tell you what, wood turning is highly therapeutic, because as you stand there and you make your shapes, if you go on, once again, if you go on my webpage, on my Facebook page, on my timeline there, well, to the left of the timeline, you'll see various things that I've made with wood turning. But as you turn, you see the profile of the wood change gently as you move across the wood. It's really nice to watch. It's lovely to do, and you can create some things that look nice and are functional. One thing I can show you on that is this. Got to try and lean on my push to talk button now. I don't know, I can't see my little window at the moment, so I'm hoping that that's coming out. That's a perfume atomizer. Yeah, yeah, that's one I made. I've made various of those, and pens. You know, you can make. There's a kit you can get to make pens. There's a pen. It's a very simple, straightforward one. You can make them a bit more elaborate if you want to. All sorts of stuff. You can make bowls, obviously. Um, One of the pens that I made, number three son, who did the tribute video, he's a drummer, and I made a pen in the shape of a drumstick. But that was really quite a challenge because it meant using the pen kit, the bits that you put together, in a totally different way, because the nib that you see at the end, if you look on my page, and you'll see a drumstick thing that's a pen, but that nib that you see at the end there, it didn't use that, so I had to work a different way, because it meant that there was no hole going right through this wooden piece. It stopped, and it made, oh, it's difficult to explain, but it was quite a challenge, but it worked well, and I was very happy with it, and so was he. Yeah, take a look at my page, on the woodwork, on the wood turning bit, and you might find some nice stuff that you like. Not that not that it's of any benefit other than just looking at it, but it shows you what can be done. Thank you, ma'am. Well, I think the point is not just talent, is it? If you're doing something that you enjoy, that kind of makes you talented, if you like, because you would do it until you can do it. It's like me with the guitar. I really didn't think I was going to play guitar again, and say for 20 years, I've honestly not believed that I'd be able to play guitar again, because that wrist doesn't bend at all. It's solid like a stick, and that one bends. I don't know if you can see it that much. That's as much as it moves. So I didn't think I'd play guitar again, but with determination and desire, that kind of makes up for any lack of talent, really, to some degree. Have a look at Scarborough Fair sometime. Yeah, it is probably a dying. Although, having said that, I've seen people, on various sites. There's a wood turning group that you can look at, and there's still loads of people in it. Okay, I'm not going to hold you up, because you need your shut eye. So hopefully I'll catch you another time. And I say, if you go to my YouTube channel, click subscribe and hit the bell. And it's not because I want the subscribers. Don't need the subscribers. It's only so that if you want to, you would know when I'm streaming, and then you can choose to go and have a look or not. Thank you for yours, H. It was really nice to have you there, and asking stuff. That's it's nice that people have got the interest and they can ask something. So take care, and my usual sign off is TTFN. Oh, good. Oh, well, hopefully there'll be some communications there as well. I assume you know what TTFN means. So if you're, I don't know if you're still there, Heidi, but if you are, oh, full name, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know if you're still there, but sleep tight. I'll catch you another time. TTFN.